much for joining us in celebrating our 10th anniversary and the launch of our birthday publication, Footprints, Tapak, Tilas, a bilingual compilation of 49 short stories coming from 44 authors and 18 translators whose work provides an insight into Indonesia from several angles. Before starting our program, I'd like to remind the audience to register, as we are offering 4 copies of Footprints Tapak Tilas as door prizes for the special event, and only those who are registered can participate in the drawings held separately for participants in Indonesia and the USA. Please write down any questions you might have in the Q&A box. We will try to address as many as we can at the end of the presentation. And to those we don't get to, we will respond via email. Thank you very much. And so let us start tonight. We are honored by the presence of the Consul General of Indonesia in San Francisco and his wife, Mr. and Mrs. Prasetyo Hadi. Pak Pras, would you please start the event with your opening remarks?
Dear Ibu Lianggo, Bapak Agem, and Dalang Publishing team, all speakers, ladies and gentlemen, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, Om Swastiastu, Namo Buddhaya, Salam, salam kebajikan, salam sejahtera, and very good morning to all of us in Indonesia, and also good evening all of us in the United States. Allow me to express my pleasure to attend and welcome this historic program, an event to celebrate the 10th anniversary of our proud Dalang Publishing and for the launch of kumpulan buku Footprints or Tapak Tilas. The 10th anniversary is of the great momentum for contemplation. As we know that the world has changed, we have all changed, yet here we are, still musing about the important publishing of Indonesian literature and the promotion of it in the world stage. As time has passed by quickly, Dalang Publishing has experienced a lot for the past 10 years. Although I have never been experienced quite closely, I can only imagine how important and precious Dalang Publishing has been. Over the years, to have collaborated and engaged closely with the incredible authors, writers, and translators for further introduce Indonesian literature to the international community. We cannot thank Dalang Publishing enough for all that they have done for the Indonesian literature. Certainly, no other publisher has done anything like this before in aid of Indonesian literature in the world stage. We extremely acknowledge that with the leadership and determination of Ibu Lianggo, a writer, founder, and proprietor of Dalang Publishing, and certainly her team, the publishing has been helping to keep the good fight for getting Indonesian literature more recognized in the larger world. Therefore, on behalf of the Consul General of the Republic of Indonesia in San Francisco, we would like to extend our highest appreciation for the work that Dalang Publishing has done and for their continuous contribution to making Indonesian literary works more accessible and available to the larger world. Happy 10th anniversary and congratulations for the launch book of the publishing birthday publication, such as Footprints or Tapak Tilas, constituting accomplished compilations of 49 short stories coming from 44 authors and 18 translators. We sincerely hope and truly believe that this publication will serve as a remarkable resource for inspiring other translators, writers, editors, and even readers around the globe, especially both in Indonesia and the United States. Thank you Ibu Lian, Pak Agam, and also all the teams Dalang Publishing, and as well as the speakers and attendees of today's event. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you very much, Pak Pras. That was a very inspiring opening speech. Agam, can you please present Pak Pras with a copy of Footprints Tapak Tilas?
Thank you, Pak Agam. Ibu Lian, thank you very much. Good luck and happy 10th anniversary of Dalang Publishing.
Enjoy, Pak Pras. I hope you will read each story.
Satu, dua, tiga. Satu, dua, tiga.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah.
We also have with us the Indonesian Council for Information and Socio-Cultural Affairs, Mr. Mahmudin Nur Al-Ghonsali. Pak Dadan, perhaps you would like to say a few words regarding how Dalang fits into your department?
Well, thank you very much, Ibu Lian. It's a very privilege for me. It's an honor for me to be part of this heroic and historic moment of 10th anniversary of Dalang Publishing. It's really remarkable achievement that the Dalang Publishing has done in the at least the past 10 years, and it's really becoming a good example for all of us to further promoting Indonesian literature as well as Indonesian culture in the globe, in the United States of America. Thank you, Dalang Publishing, and happy 10th anniversary. Thank you very much. And thank you for the book.
You're very welcome, Pak Dadan. Thank you. Before we continue, I would like to remember and celebrate the lives of 3 contributors to Footprints Tapak Tilas we lost last year with a moment of silence as I read their names in the order they passed away. Wikan Satriati was born on June 23, 1975, and passed away on April 25th, 2021. Budi Dharma, born on April 25, 1937, passed away on August 21st of 2021. Rinto Andriano, born on August the 22nd of 1974, passed away on November 29, 2021. I'm grateful for having known each of them, as well as for the words they left us with. Thank you. As for the living, I like to give a grateful hand of applause to the wonderful team who helped pull this publication together. First, there's Tapak Mulyana, our Indonesian editor. Then comes Terry Gorham, the English editor, and Mario Santo, the cover designer. And last but not at all least, because this was a big job. This was not just a regular layout job. There was so much more involved putting this book together than a regular novel. And I would like to give Abdi Rizal a great big hand of applause. Abdi Rizal. Agam Raharjo who helped me get Dalang started and who has weathered it with me through all these years. Thank you, Agam. And Cynthia Frank, the owner from Cypress House, who has midwifed more than half of Dalang's titles. I would not be able to do this without your help, Cynthia. I know you're somewhere there in the audience. And then comes Melanie Budianta, Dalang's wise woman.
Hello, Lian.
Where are you?
I'm here.
There you are.
Yeah.
There is Dalang's wise woman. When I get crazy, Mel sets me straight.
Congratulations, Lian, for the 10th anniversary of Dalang. It's not an easy journey, I know. It's full of sweat and blood. It's each book is like, you are like a mother delivering a baby.
No kidding.
For each book. It's a hard labor. And the translator, writer, author, and all who work with you can feel this anxiety. Each word should be perfect. Every part of the story should follow the logic of the narrative. Otherwise, you won't be happy with it, right? And so it's marvelous that you have come this far, yeah. And I'm very happy that you are with Dalang and not becoming one of our minister or something, because if you were, then you would make us pay a fine for each foreign language borrowings that we use in our sentence.
That's right. That's right.
We all experience this. Lian is a very protective mother of each of the work that she created. But behind all of this, there is love. There is a strong passion and love, care towards each author or translator and each work that she produced, and also love for the country, for Indonesia, for Indonesian culture. So I'm very happy to be with Dalang and to see how it grows. Congratulations again, and long live Dalang. Good luck for the future. Congratulations to all of us. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mel. Thank you. And here is, if you have a father and a mother, here is the father of Dalang, which is Manneke Budiman, who has been Dalang's literary advisor from day one. And I'm not guilty of his bald head. He was already bald when we met the very first time. So don't blame that on me. But Manneke will close the event later. And this is just to introduce him right now. Right? Thank you, Manneke.
Thank you, Lian. Congratulations.
Thank you. These were the folks who were always there to show me up when the chips were down. Unlike our previous titles, which represented the work of one author and one translator, Footprints and Tapak Tilas, as I mentioned earlier, showcases 44 authors and 18 translators. So when planning this launch, I was faced with the dilemma of who to feature at this event. And I finally decided to stage different authors and translators during the series of introductory events that will follow this launch. And tonight bring you Han Gagas and Ranang Aji Suryaputra, 2 authors who have each contributed 2 stories to our compilation. And translators, Nufita Devi, who has contributed 9 translations, Oni Suryaman, who has contributed 10 translations, and Umar Tamrin, who has contributed 3 translations and signed up for the 6 translations coming up next year. I will end the introduction to authors and translators with author Mariam Mufida and her translator Nina Halim. The reason they are with us tonight will be a very nice surprise. And as Business Lounge, we are also celebrating Dalang's 10th birthday. I have also invited award-winning author Junaidi Sutiono to be with us. As aside from being a contributing author in Footprints Tapak Tilas with Lord, whose prayer will you listen to? Maya Denisa Saputra's English language translation for Gusti, Doa Siapa yang akan kau dengar? He also has authored 2 of Dalang's titles. Panji's Quest, Oni Suryaman's English translation of Tembang dan Perang, was published by Penerbit Canisius last year, and Dasamuka, Maya Denisa Saputra's English language translation of the award-winning novel under the same title, published by Penerbit Ombak in 2017. Dasamuka won the 2020 Literary Award from the Indonesian Ministry of Culture and Education and received the Majelis Sastra Asia Tenggara Mastera Award in 2020. I will start this evening with author Junaidi Sutiono. Unfortunately, Maya is unable to join us, but we will hear from Oni later this evening. Hello, June. Thank you for being with us tonight.
Hello, Ibu.
You're widely published. Can you tell us a little bit about your experience as a Dalang author? And will you continue to work with Dalang for the publication of your future work? June?
Okay, thank you, Bu Lian. Before Dalang, I worked with Serambi. During that time, the editor who was assigned to me gave me a list of questions and notes on parts of the manuscript which needed work, and we were done as soon as I had done my homework. Working with Dalang Publishing was much more intense. They required much more detail, and it often took several rounds of going back and forth before a change or improvement in the manuscript was implemented. However, a change always taught me something and brought something important to the work. I feel that I gained many advantages from working with Dalang. Aside from the valuable feedback I received during the editing process, Dalang also put a lot of effort toward promoting my writing. So yes, I want to keep working with Dalang for the publication of my next novel.
Nggak kapok ya, Jun?
Ya, Ibu. Masih hidup ini, Ibu.
Thank you, June, for your trust. I'm looking forward to reading your next novel.
Thank you, Ibu.
These are the stories from tonight's featured authors and translators. There we are. All right. Let us now hear what each of these authors and translators have to share about their contribution to Footprints Tapak Tilas. We will start with Han Gagas. Thank you, Han, for being with us tonight. What inspired you to write Hikayat Jarot di Agustusan, Jarot's Independence Day, and Pekik Burung Kedasi di Tepi Kahayan, Flying Chukos over the Kahayan? Apa yang mendorong Han menulis Hikayat Jarot di Agustusan dan Pekik Burung Kedasi di Tepi Kahayan? Silakan, Han.
Terima kasih Bu Lian atas pertanyaannya. Pertama, saya terdorong menulis cerita pendek Hikayat Jarot di Agustusan karena tertarik mengamati seorang pengamen yang mirip gelandangan. Dan saya gelisah melihat pabrik yang membuang limbah ke sungai secara langsung, dan kejadian itu saya lihat menjelang perayaan kemerdekaan Indonesia di bulan Agustus.
Wah.
Jadi karena itu saya menulis cerita pendek Hikayat Jarot di Agustusan. Kemudian untuk pertanyaan kedua, saya terdorong menulis cerita pendek Pekik Burung Kedasih di Tepi Kahayan karena juga gelisah mengetahui adanya pencemaran di Sungai Kahayan, juga mengetahui adanya penambangan emas dan batu bara, serta perusakan hutan, pembabatan hutan secara amat luas untuk kebun sawit, terutama perusahaan-perusahaan besar. Demikian Bu Lian, untuk menjawab dua pertanyaan tentang dua cerpen saya tersebut. Terima kasih.
Terima kasih, Han. Bu Novi, will you please translate? You were his translator. Bu Novi, hope you need to unmute yourself. You're still, there you go. Okay, go ahead, take it away.
Mas Han, thanks Bu Lian, for this opportunity. And in fact, Mas Han was concerned, about when writing Hikayat Jarot di Agustusan, Mas Han was in fact quite concerned, after watching a street busker while worrying about the industrial waste, manufactured waste that pollute the river. And that happened before the Independence Day, where everything has to be nice and tidy. That's for the first one. And for the second story, Pekik Burung Kedasi di Tepi Kahayan, again, that was sprouted from Mas Han's concern about the pollution in the Kahayan River in Kalimantan by destructive gold and coal mining, and also the forest clearing for the benefit of oil palm plantations. So that's the two books, two short stories from Mas Hans.
Thank you, Bunov. Unfortunately, author Ranang Suryaputra, who wrote Kisah Cinta Perempuan yang Diberkati Kiai Kembali, The Lovesick Lady, and the other story, Mitoni Terakhir, the last Mitoni, is unable to join us tonight. However, his translators, Oni Suryaman and Novita Devi, are both with us. You just heard Novita Devi. So now here we have Oni. Oni, you translated Kisah Cinta Perempuan yang Diberkati Kiai Kembali to The Lovesick Lady. Please tell us what the story is about and what you found the most enjoyable and the most difficult in the translation process of Ranang's story. On?
Yeah, Ibu. In short, I can say that the story is a uniquely Indonesian flavored magical realism story. It is quite different compared to the Western world magic system. I had to transpose this uniqueness into another language, which is English. It was a real challenge to preserve this uniqueness in the translation.
Oni, you have translated 10 short stories for this collection, and also Junaidi Setiono's novel, Tembang dan Perang, Panji's Quest for Dalang. Has this work helped you grow as a translator? And if so, how?
Yeah, it's quite a long journey for me, and I'm truly grateful for having been given the chance to work with various authors and also editor, especially the English editor, to learn the different styles of storytelling and how to edit my translation. An opportunity like this is really, really, really valuable for me to improve my translating skills.
I see. Is there anything in particular you would like to share with aspiring and fellow translators?
Yes, only 3 words: practice, practice, and practice. Always try. Yes, you never stop. You can never be that good. There's always something better. And I always strive to improve yourself. Do not stay in your comfort zone. Keep improving. That's all.
Amen. Bu Novi, you have translated 9 short stories for this collection. What did you find the most enjoyable, and what was the most difficult part when translating Ranang's Mitoni Terakhir, The Last Mitoni, and Han Gagas's Hikayat Jarod di Agustusan to Jarod's Independence Day? Buno?
Yeah, thank you, Bulian, for Mas Ranang's story. I think, it was challenging and very satisfying to find the English translation for some Japanese words, and that is really rewarding for me. That's for Mas Ranang's story, and for Mas Hans, I was quite impressed with the environmental message in the story. So I think it is really a joy to translate Mas Hans' stories. Only one for me.
Thank you, Bunov. Han, do you have any comments on Bunovi's translation of Hikayat Jarod di Agustusan? Han, apakah ada masukan tentang terjemahan Bunovi?
Terima kasih. Saya aturkan kepada Bu Novi yang telah berupaya menerjemahkan cerita pendek saya, dan saya kira sudah lumayan bagus dan menarik. Jadi tidak ada masukan. Terima kasih.
Bu Nov, can you please translate?
Mas Han said that's quite good. So no comment for that.
Thank you. Bu Novi, which language course do you currently teach at Sanata Dharma University in Yogyakarta? Have your translations of these short stories in any way been helpful in your teaching? And if so, how?
Bulian, I teach all literature courses at both Indonesian and English departments of Sanata Dharma University, and I use stories on Dalang website, and they are very interesting, and students like them very much. Number one, because they know more about Indonesian literature, and number two, the translation of English Indonesia help them sharpen their sense of comparison, and this is a really useful skill for all language learners, Ibu.
I see. Thank you. I am sure Pak Oda is listening very attentively. I see him there.
Hello, Pak Oda.
Thank you, Pak Oda, for being here.
My supporter.
Yeah, I know. Our supporter, Bu Novi. Nggak bisa diambil alih, nggak boleh.
Okay, our supporter.
There you go. Nah, begitu kah? Umar, you translated Han Gagas's Pekik Burung Kedasi di Tepi Kahayan to Crying Chukos over the Kahayan. Tell us, please, what did you like the most and what was the most difficult for you?
Okay, thank you, Bulian. I find the most enjoyable part is the story resonates with me. I like the life on the river and the people around the river. And the most difficult part is to give voice to the characters.
That is indeed a very difficult part of translation. You don't only have to translate accurately, but you have
Right,
to also uh, give the author's voice. Yeah,
right,
not
right.
yours, but the author's. Han, do you have any comments on Pak Umar's translation of Crying of Burung Kedasi di Tepi Kahayan? Han, apakah ada masukan tentang terjemahan Pak Umar?
Saya mengucapkan terima kasih yang banyak pada Pak Umar yang telah berusaha sebagus mungkin menerjemahkan cerita pendek saya, Pekik Burung Kedasi di Tepi Kahayan, dan saya kira sudah lumayan bagus sehingga tidak ada masukan. Terima kasih.
Umar, please translate.
I'm very thankful for Pak Umar's effort to translate my story, and it is good enough, and I have no suggestion.
Thank you.
Thank you, Pak Mas Han, for the story. It's good.
Terima kasih, sama-sama Pak Umar.
Thank you. Umar, aside from doing English language translations of Indonesian literary works, you yourself are also an author. What inspired you to write Cening Rara, the short story included in Footprints Tapak Tilas? Umar?
That's interesting questions. Actually, it is inspired, the story inspired by my dissertation research on the community of Bisu, that is transgender priest of South Sulawesi. Sorry, I forgot one thing. The sacred transgender priest of South Sulawesi.
I see. Oni, you translated this story. What did you like and what was the hardest?
Yes, maybe if I compare it to the previous one, the kisah cinta perempuan yang diberkati Kiai kembali, or translated into the Lovesick Lady, Umar's story is also about magical realism. I really like, but the style is really different compared to the previous title. It's very unique, the way he's mixing the modern life with the traditional and also spiritual, with the religious, the magical and the mundane life. It's a very unique style. So I have to give my best to do his beautiful story justice.
And you did. And you did. Thank you, Oni. Umar, you teach linguistics at the Alauddin University in Makassar on the island of Sulawesi. And after translating this year's last 3 stories of Dalang's website, you volunteered to translate next year's 6 stories for us. What prompted you to make that decision? Umar?
One thing. That is your passion, Ibu Lian. I'm so touched with your effort in promoting Indonesian literature and in preserving Indonesian language. Especially, I always make mistakes and you always correct me when I use English words in my Indonesian writing. So I'm very thankful for that. And it's been 10 years. So I also, we, not me, myself, but I think all Indonesians must be very thankful for you. And I'm very happy to help you to translate the story.
Thank you, Umar. Thank you very, very much. Your support means a lot. Very much so. Thank you.
You're welcome.
And now then comes the surprise. I am bursting proud to present our representatives of future Indonesian literary voices, the youngest set of our group of authors and translators. And here comes 15-year-old author, Mariam Mufida. Let's have Mariam. And 16-year-old translator, Norina Halim. Can we have them on screen, please? Okay. Now, Mariam. Hello, Nina. Hello, Mariam. There we are. Mariam, you were only 12 years old when you won first prize at the 2019 Samuha Smart Competition, a short story competition for the Central Java province, and second place at the 2019 Festival dan Literasi Nasional, a short story competition for the Kuto Arjo area in Central Java. Now that was 3 years ago, but I am sure you still remember because I still see your picture with those big, big trophies. Yeah? Can you share how you felt? Mariam, hanya berumur 12 tahun saat menang juara 1 di lomba menulis 219 Samuda Smart Competition Jawa Tengah dan juara kedua di lomba menulis cerpen Festival dan Literasi Nasional tahun 2019 juga. Maupun ini sudah 3 tahun yang lalu, Mariam pastilah masih ingat. Tolong Mariam membagi perasaannya. Silakan sayang.
Saya merasa sangat berterima kasih kepada Tuhan karena semua itu adalah anugerah darinya.
Wah, Nina, you are her translator. Take it away, honey.
So Mariam said that she's very grateful to God because all of it is His gift.
Thank you. Mariam, what inspired you to write Kehampaan di Pantai Tanjung Lesung? Tanjung Lesung Beach wrapped in desolation. Lalu apa yang mendorong Mariam menulis Kehampaan di Pantai Tanjung Lesung? Mariam, tolong bagi dengan kita.
Banyak keindahan alam di Indonesia. Salah satunya adalah pantai utara Jawa, yang merupakan milik kita bersama yang perlu untuk saya tuliskan.
Wah. Nin, can you translate that, please?
The northern coastal line of Java is only one of the many wondrous Indonesian nature spots. It belongs to all of us, and I feel a need to write about it.
Nina, thank you, Nina. Nin, you're 16 now, and that makes you 13 when you translated Mariam's story. Was that the first time you translated the story? And what did you like the most of that work, and what was the hardest for you?
It was my first time translating, and being able to translate a meaningful narrative was both enjoyable and challenging.
Have you done any other translations since?
I have yet to work on any new projects.
Oops, don't fall by the wayside. If you don't use it, you will lose it. I hope Nina, that you realize in a way that you're very privileged for having been exposed to the English language at such a very young age. Have you thought about sharing that benefit with others in ways it could help your fellow Indonesian and thus, in fact, support our country?
I'm very grateful for the opportunity I've been given, and I have been working towards sharing what I have been exposed to. I hope to be able to support our country by going to university abroad and bringing back what I've learned.
Please, Nina, please do keep that in mind. And don't be waylaid by the glitter of a foreign country. You and the knowledge you'll acquire are needed at home. Mariam, your schedule at the boarding school you attend doesn't give you the time you need to work on writing, to submit or enter into competitions. So, how do you stay in touch with your imagination? And do you ever plan on going back to writing? Mariam, sekarang sekolah di pesantren. Dan katanya sekarang tidak ada waktu ya untuk menulis dengan tujuan ikut lomba menulis. Nah, bagaimana Mariam merawat hubungannya dengan daya khayal Mariam? Apakah ada rencana untuk kembali menulis sungguh-sungguh? Mariam?
Bukannya tidak ada waktu sama sekali untuk menulis, tetapi memang hampir seluruh waktu saya digunakan untuk kegiatan pondok pesantren. Bila pas ada waktu luang, meski cuma sekitar 10 menit sehari, saya gunakan untuk menulis apa yang saya hayalkan. Misalnya tentang seorang anak miskin yang berusaha untuk dapat berguna bagi sesama pada saat pandemi COVID melanda. Sekarang saya kelas 9 SMP. Tahun depan saya masuk SMA, dan saat itulah saya akan menulis dengan lebih bersungguh-sungguh sehingga dapat menghasilkan tulisan yang layak untuk dibukukan.
Nah, terima kasih, Mariam. Nin, will you please translate that?
It's not that I have no time to write, but almost all of my time is used for boarding school activities. Whenever there's free time, even if it's only around 10 minutes per day, I write what I imagine. For example, I wrote how a poor child tries to be helpful during the COVID pandemic. Now I'm in 9th grade. Next year, I'll be a high schooler. And that is when I will return to writing seriously and hopefully will be able to produce something worthy of publishing.
Thank you. Thank you. And this then finishes our introduction of Dalang's authors and translators for tonight. Professor Monica Budiman, as Dalang's literary advisor for as long as we have been in business, will wrap up this part of the evening before we go into the Q&A session. Monica?
Thank you, Lian. Once again, congratulations to you, Lian, and also to your magnificent team, the people who have been working to make Tapak Tilas possible in the first place. I think we in Asia is still yet to realize how significant is the contribution made by Tapak Tilas to Asian literature, but also more importantly to the internationalization of Indonesian literature. You deserve a medal from Indonesian government, Lian, actually, for for the job that you have done. Almost, solitarily, one person doing all this project. So, So this is really something to celebrate, but also to remind ourselves in Indonesia to not be too complacent with with our comfort zone, and to also open up our eyes on what other people outside Indonesia has been doing for Indonesian literature and for Indonesia in general, like you, for instance. Lian is actually one of a kind. You cannot find anyone else even close. So probably we need to consider cloning Lian. Create one more. Yeah, yeah. So again, Tapak Tilas is only possible because of Lian's tenacity and perseverance. Despite all adversities, myself, for instance, quite often I am the adversity rather than the supporter to Lian's effort. Every time Lian tries to reach me through WhatsApp or through telephone or through other means, I always try to find excuses to escape, to hide, and to run away from her. And there are moments when Lian was my nightmare. Whenever there's a phone call, like earthquake coming. So yeah. But exactly because of this determination, this commitment, this passion, and the great amount of energy that she possesses, then Dalang become really something today. Since its inception so many years ago, and not many people are still staying. I know some people who were there at first, they are no longer there. But, that doesn't stop Lian from moving forward, from continuing. And so we see not only Tapak Tilas, but also other translators. They are proof of Lian's, like Melanie said, love for her country of origin, which is still her country even today. And I feel guilty for not being able to help much in the production of Tapak Tilas. Okay. And even I think I don't know, is it prologue or epilogue? That book, it's
Epilogue.
That's epilogue. That's the result of a continuous and night intimidation by Lian. So to free myself from my suffering, then yes, I decide to give in, write something, just to make her, chasing me all around. And of course, all of us, look forward to Tapak Tilas too, Lian, perhaps. So starting a new, program again, in order to be able to the next Tapak Tilas, okay, the Tapak Tilas 2. Yeah. And yeah, I would like to wish long live to Dalang, but also to Lian, because Dalang and Lian are now one and are. And I promise I try to do my best to help you more, Lian, in the future. Yeah.
Thank you,
that's all from me. Thank you to all of friends here who have been helping and staying all along with Lian. This is not just Dalang's source of pride, Tapak Tilas, but you are also part of is a source of pride of Dalang and Lian in particular.
There is topic. I see him in the audience. Thank you very much, Monica. I appreciate you being here. I know it's always a time crunch with you. And so, I'm catching you always by your shirt tails, and I am holding on to it until I get what I want. But as I said, I'm not guilty of your bald head. You did that all by yourself long before me. So, you cannot put that on me. And again, thank you for sticking it out with me for 10 long years, which have gone by really fast. Sometimes it looks like time stands still, and especially when things are bad and I'm going crazy, it looks like, is this ever gonna end? But then next thing is we have another title. Yeah. So this is good. Thank you very much. So now I'm sure that everybody is sitting there waiting anxiously with their questions. So let us get to that. Let me see. Oh, it's only 8 o'clock. So we have time for quite a few questions. Wait, I have to excuse myself. I want to go get the book. It is in the other room and I forgot to bring it. Yeah. So, wait. So, we have questions. Who has been fielding the questions? Agam, Cindy, who has been doing this? What are the questions? Q&A, yes.
Professor Cynthia Tiwon.
Yes, Bu Cynthia barusan masuk. Pak Oda, do translations apa? Bagaimana Pak Oda kok udah hilang cepet banget, belum kelihatan. Sylvia Timon, do you have special Q&A sessions? Yes, Sylvia, it's happening right now. Nah, ini loh. While everybody is doing nothing, I want to show my book. Want to show my chat, my. How do I do that? Oh, there we. Bagaimana ya? Do you guys?
Nggak kelihatan. Nggak kelihatan, Lian.
Bagaimana sih? Nah tuh. Bagaimana?
Karena
Nggak tahu.
ini.
Dasar di gaptek.
No, it's because you have a background, so it's usually like that. It's very hard.
Nah, tuh.
Now we can see.
Diam, jangan goyang. Nah, tuh. Nah.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah. All right. Pak Oda is having a good question for us. So please, Pak Oda, but take it away. Pak Oda is what are you now at Sanata Dharma? Are you still Wakil Rector?
No, I'm not a Wakil Rector anymore. I've been there for 8 years.
And when he was the assistant rector of the University of Sanata Dharma in Jogja. Pak Oda also always tried to run away from me, but I always caught him. So here we are. Okay, go ahead, Pak Oda.
Okay, so actually my question, because now I'm fully teaching, Bulian, I'm not in the administration anymore, and I'm very happy. So I have time to paint and also to write, and also mostly teaching. So my question is for the translator, actually, because I was wondering, in our curriculum, for example, at the university, I think it's all universities across Indonesia, we have translation course, but now we have many computer programs. They're very good, like Google Translate, for example.
No. Google Translate is not good. Please.
No.
Please.
You have to. Okay. You don't say that is good, but it's getting better and better. It's the artificial intelligence, which is a bit, for teachers. I think I don't know how to deal with that. We with the teachers, how are we going to teach translation, for example, especially with the younger kids, if they if we teach them like what we were taught, like Punovi was my professor, my lecturer, so that would be completely different, because in the past they just give us text and then we have to translate that. But if you do that now, in 1 second the students will come back and then here you are. So that is what is happening now. So my question is for the translators: what do you think about the disruption of the artificial intelligence, especially in the translation area? Thank you.
Oni, why don't you try to answer Pauda first, and then after that comes Bunovi, and then Nina, get ready, because you are the youngest. So we would like to know from you how you fit into this question from Pauda. Go ahead, Oni.
Ya, saya duluan ya, karena ini audiensnya banyak orang Indonesia juga, jadi saya coba jawab dua bahasa ya. Di bahasa Indonesia dulu sedikit, nanti bahasa Inggris ringkasannya. Pak Oda, makasih perhatiannya. Mungkin memang zaman berubah ya Pak, zaman berubah, kita nggak bisa lari dari perubahan zaman. Saya mungkin sekarang memposisikan diri saya berbeda ya. Saya juga seorang penerjemah dokumen. Ya, saya penerjemah dokumen, dan dalam mengerjakan dokumen itu pasti saya menggunakan cat tools, atau kamu biasanya menyebutnya meong ya. Kucing. Cat tools itu karena apa? Karena itu alat untuk membantu produktivitas. Itu sangat membantu untuk kecepatan pengerjaan. Dan salah satu bagian dari cat tools, mau tidak mau harus kita akui, adalah machine translation. Ya, itu makin berkembang, makin bagus, makin canggih. Saya tidak tahu apakah 10 tahun ke depan itu sudah mendekati kemampuan manusia, saya tidak tahu. Tapi yang jelas hampir seluruh agensi penerjemahan di luar negeri, di Indonesia itu pasti menggunakan itu. Dan sekarang hampir pasti itu mengubah apa istilahnya, dunia, bukan dunia sih, tapi mengubah cara kita bekerja. Dan terutama sekali itu tentu saja mengubah, karena penerjemah profesional itu ya dalam arti dapat uangnya dari mana begitu. Nah, salah satu sekarang yang berkembang, saya kira Pak Oda juga mungkin tahu istilahnya itu, sebentar saya agak lupa, MTPE, Machine Translation Post Editing.
What?
Machine Translation Post Editing. Jadi untuk namanya pekerjaan profesional itu kan harus kencang ya, harus cepat. Jadi caranya adalah kita lempar ke mesin, AI-nya bekerja, menerjemahkan, tapi kan tentu pasti banyak salahnya. Nah, jadi manusia tetap dibutuhkan untuk mengedit supaya menjadi terjemahan yang baik. Nah, tapi satu hal, nah ini caveatnya, satu hal, saya tidak pernah menggunakannya untuk penerjemahan sastra. Sebab dan penerjemahan sastra itu sebenarnya bukan sekedar penerjemahan, kita menciptakan sebuah karya yang baru. Ini rekreasi, bukan sekedar mengubah, tapi ini menciptakan ulang, dan dalam proses itu adalah sebuah pekerjaan seni, dan untuk pekerjaan seni tentu beda ya, nilai rasa itu kan mesin tidak punya itu, mesin mungkin bisa mendapatkan ketepatan, tapi kalau nilai rasa pasti berbeda. Jadi mungkin saya bisa itu ya. So in short, I can say that you cannot escape the changes in future. Now, in almost all translation agency, they're all using the CAT tools, yeah, the computer edit translation tool, and the CAT tools embedded inside. You have the machine translation, the MT, and now, of course, in translation agency. They don't want just to have a correct translation, but also a fast translation, because it's related with the productivity, with how much money they can get from it. So now almost all translation agency is using the MTPE, machine translation post editing. That is the future. We cannot deny that. Yeah. So we still use human editor, but we edit the machine translation. Yeah, it saves a lot of time, especially it helps with consistency. We human are really bad in consistent translation, while machine is very good at it. Okay, I think that's all. Yeah, but okay, the last one, sorry. I missed the last one. But I never use machine translation for creative translating. Machine is not good for that. For literary translation, I always just simply word editor. Yeah, word editing application. That's all. Yeah, maybe you can use online dictionary and so on, but never use the machine translation because it becomes so boring. Yeah, it is consistent but boring. Yeah, that's for me.
Oni, I'm happy to hear. I'm happy to hear you say that you don't use that machine to translate our novels because you won't get away with it. You will never be able to either catch the mood or the author's voice. So forget about the machine, please. As long as you work with Ibu, but if you don't work with Ibu, you do what you want. But when you are working with Ibu, that's a big no-no. You're going to have a big fight. Don't do that. Thank you very much. Okay, Bu Novi, your turn. What do you have to say about about Pak Oda's question?
Yeah, thank you, Pak Oda. Yeah, very short answer because Pak Oni has already mentioned everything. Yeah, and I couldn't agree more. I don't use Google Translate because I use Boolean Translate. I translate and Boolean will polish the translation, so no need. For something that is so difficult, I try Google Translate, but I know Boolean will polish. I think my machine is GoL, not Google, but Boolean Translate, and that is much more effective. But yes, it's fast. Yeah, if you have a very long pieces to translate, and machine translation is of utmost importance. But again, human touch is indeed very important. But okay, thank you.
Thank you, Bu Nov. And Nina, where do you, as a 16-year-old, how do you relate? What do you have to, what's your input about this machine business?
I think I will answer in both Indonesian and English, like
Thank
Pak
you.
Oni. So I'll start in Indonesian.
That's my translator.
Pertama, saya setuju dengan Pak Oni dan Bu Novita. Zaman sekarang memang mesin itu pasti dipakai. Tidak mungkin jika tidak ada kemajuan dari teknologi zaman sekarang. Akan tetapi sastra itu tidak akan pernah bisa diterjemahkan oleh mesin. Karena seorang penulis pasti cara penulisannya berbeda semua. Punya gaya tersendiri, cara pemikiran sendiri. Dan satu-satunya hal yang spesial tentang manusia itu bisa memahami arti dari penulis, bisa berdiskusi dengan penulis apa tujuan penulisan itu. Komputer tidak bisa merasakan empati atau emosi yang sama seperti manusia, sehingga dalam penerjemahan mesin, arti dan penulisan dari penulis tidak akan pernah bisa jadi dibandingkan dengan manusia. So, for me, I agree with Pak Oni and Bu Novita, because though we cannot do anything to prevent technology moving forward, literature is something that will always be exclusively can only be done by humans, because every writer has their own style, their own mindset when writing, because in literature, they are pouring their heart out. And something that machines don't have is empathy. Humans have empathy. Humans can interact with each other and get to know what we are thinking, what we are feeling. And that is something that machines cannot do when translating literature. Only humans can truly translate what the writer truly meant when they were writing it. And that's why I think that translating literature will always belong to humans. It won't be replaced by machines.
Thank you, Nina. Thank you very much. Yeah. Next question.
Yeah, we still have one question from Ibu Sylvia.
Yeah.
Can you tell us a bit of how you identify the stories you want to translate?
Maaf nggak kedengaran. What did you say?
Yeah, can you, this is the question from Ibu Sylvia.
Yeah.
Can you tell us a bit of how you identify the stories you want to translate?
How I what?
How you identify.
Identify. Yeah. Okay.
Stories.
The stories I want to translate. Okay. Basically, how I choose my stories is about the content. What is the story about? Dalang is about sharing with the world our history. That's number one. Yeah. And then also our rich culture. And then lately, I have added the social concerns. If the story's content fulfills one of those three concepts, I will look at it. Then the next thing is also how willing is the author to go by Dalang's philosophy. Aside from publishing stories, it's very, very close to my heart, and therefore it has become Dalang's motto, that we are into trying our best to preserve our language. I'm 86, so I know what it took to come to today, that we can have our own language. And we should be proud, and we should always protect that language. Language is like rules. Once you know the rules, you can try to break them. But when I read, or especially when I listen to my fellow Indonesians mangling our language, I cannot help it. I get upset. I get very upset because from Sumpah Pemuda through the revolution, through being 79 years almost independent, we still don't know what it means to have a language. And when we have no language, everything else goes. So, Sylvia, to get back to your question, these are the criteria how I determine whether I want to engage with a story or not. If you're familiar with Dalang's stories and with Dalang's novels, and you know that there are no mangled words in any of the stories nor novels that we partake in. Thank you for bringing this up, Sylvia. We don't have any more. Pak Eka, don't you have questions? You usually have questions. Or Dian. Let me see. Hafiz Afendi. Okay. All right. If I have a new writer here, Bertie. Selamat malam, Bertie. Kahar from Badan Bahasa is here also. Pak Kahar, you don't have anything to say? Cynthia Ryder. We have Cynthia Ryder here, who is a 10-year-long supporter. Would you like to? Alrighty then. Let me see. Well, this then ends our event. Winners of the door prize drawing will be notified via email by Wednesday, November the 7th. Again, thank you all for coming to celebrate our 10th birthday with us. And here then is to Indonesia, sharing its stories with the world. And for those on this side of the ocean, have a restful evening. And for those in Indonesia, have a wonderful Sunday. Thank you again. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Bulian.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Terima kasih, Bulian. Terima
Selamat,
kasih
Bulian.
semuanya.
Sama-sama.
Selamat ulang